If I told you America's very first penny was almost the size of a modern half-dollar? It may seem surprising, but for more than 60 years, the United States produced a large copper 1 cent that helped build the nation's economy. These coins are known as large cents, and each one tells the story of America's earliest years. Welcome back to Coin Quest, where every coin has a story. Today we're exploring the complete history of the United States large cent from its first appearance in 1793 to its final year production in 1857. The story begins with the Coinage Act of 1792, which created the United States Mint in Philadelphia. The young nation needed its own reliable coinage instead of depending on foreign coins from Great Britain, Spain, France, and other countries. One of the first denominations chosen was the 1 cent coin, which would become known as the large cent because of its impressive size. Made of early pure copper, it measured about 27 to 29 milliliters across, much larger than the pennies we carry today. The first large cent was struck in 1793. Collectors know this design as a flowing hair chain cent. The reverse featured a chain of 15 links representing the original states. Although the designs symbolize unity, many people criticized the chain because they believed it resembled slavery or imprisonment. The mint responded quickly, replacing it later that some year with the wreath cent, which featured a more attractive wreath on the reverse. Before that year ended, the Mint introduced another redesign known as the Liberty Cap Large Cent. This beautiful design featured Liberty facing right with a cap on a pole behind her, a symbol of freedom inherited from the American Revolution. The Liberty Cap design remained in production through 1796 and reflected the growing identity of the young United States. In 1796, another important redesign arrived, the draped bust large cent. Liberty now appeared with longer flowing hair and a more elegant portrait. During this period, the Mint continued improvising its equipment and striking methods, but producing high-quality copper coins was still challenging. Many large cents from the era show weak strikes, uneven surfaces, or planchet imperfections because of the limitations of early minting technology. The next major change came in 1808 with the introduction of the classic head large cent. This design remained in production until 1814. During these years, the nation faced economic difficulties and the War of 1812, which disrupted the supply of copper. As a result, no large cents were struck in 1815, making it the only year missing from the regular large cent series. Production resumed in 1816 with what made many collectors consider the most recognizable design of all, the coronet or matron head, the large cent. Liberty wore a coronet inscribed with the word Liberty, and this design remained in use for more than 20 years. During this period, the Mint introduced amplified steam-powered presses that produced stronger, more consistent strikes. These coins circulated heavily across the expanding United States and became a familiar part of everyday commerce. In 1839, Liberty received one final makeover with a braided hair large cent, designed by chief engraver Christian Gorbet. The portrait became more refined and lifelike, reflecting advances in engraving and coin production. This would be the last major design used on the large cent. By the 1850s, however, the large cent was becoming outdated. Rising copper prices made the coins expensive to produce, and many Americans preferred a smaller, lighter cent that was easier to carry. Congress agreed that it was time for a change. In 1857, production of the large cent officially ended. It was replaced by the smaller Flying Eagle cent, struck from a copper-nickel alloy. This marked the beginning of the small cents. They continue to circulate today. Today, large cents remain some of the most popular early American coins to collect. Common dates allow collectors to own a genuine piece of early U.S. history, while rare varieties and high-grade examples can sell for thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even large cent tells a story of a growing nation, early craftsmanship, and the people who carried these remarkable coins through America's first decades. Do you own a United States large cent, or is there a particular design that's your favorite? Let me know in the comments. I always enjoy hearing about your collections and discoveries. If you enjoyed this journey through American history, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to CoinQuest, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a coin history, coin roll hunts, numismatic news, and valuable coins to look for. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story, and the next great piece of history could be waiting in your collection.